back with Anno 2005 today, episode 10, and it's gonna be a big one. In this episode, my goal is to finally provide every single good to every single region. The Arctic, the Moon, and the Temperate region. Yeah, I know, we didn't talk about the Tundra, we'll talk about the Tundra later. If you missed any of the previous episodes, don't hesitate to check in the video description below for the full playlist. But for everybody else, let's dive in. And let's start with the Arctic, because we've made a lot of changes there. Look at this, as you can see, we are sending everything to our scientists. Our scientists are fully supplied with stimulants, luxury food, quantum computers, replicators, and secrecy. If you remember, in the last episode, we started making replicators on the temperate region, and so I basically created just a new route now to send them over here. Then I upgraded a few more houses to reach 3,000 scientists, because you need 3,000 scientists to unlock the high security laboratory, which we have then built. There is 2 of them, one over here and one over here, and that's now enough, as you can see, sufficient to supply all of them. So yeah, with this, they got to the maximum level. Now, one thing to note is that those high security laboratory are super expensive. As you can see, 6,000 of maintenance and 500 of electricity. So I had to build even more gas power station. You can see there's 2 more over here, but also on another island I built a new one. And on this island over here, you can see also a lot of new productions. In the last episode, we had started to make quantum computers, just enough for my scientists in the Arctic, but we needed 66 for my investors on the temperate region. So now we're producing this. Let's check over here. We're producing more than 70, and that's enough. Now, to be able to do this, we had to build quite a few new productions, as you can see. First of all, over here, those hardware fabrication plants for the actual quantum computers. We have 1, 2, and 3 completely optimized, and a 4th one that has started. That's a lot of maintenance, a lot of people, a lot of electricity for sure. And this requires 2 things, right? The qubit processors and the supercoolants. For the supercoolants, we actually have 2. There is one over here which is fully optimized. It's actually a lot of modules, you can put 8. So you have 8 over here, and then you have the second one with only 3. Again, a lot of money, a lot of people, a lot of electricity, but that's one of the last production in the game, so I'm not too surprised. For this, obviously, I had to also increase the methane, ice, and deuterium production, right? And then last but not least, we have the sub-zero clean room. We have 1 over here, a 2nd there, and a 3rd there. So again, quite a bit of production, and you can see this is 3,000 of maintenance for 1. So we're talking about 9,000 of maintenance just for this intermediary production, right? Not even the final one. But with this, as you can see, we are able to send 67 of those quantum computers to Wildwater Bay, and that's enough for our people. Similarly, let's move now to the moon. We've also made some new changes on the moon. First and foremost, I have upgraded a lot of houses over here into officers. Why? Because I wanted to reach 3,000 officers. We've just reached it, as you can see, 3,036, because with this 3,000, you unlock the last building, which is the healthcare center, or the health center, sorry. It cost a lot of money, 400,000 just for 1. I'm gonna need 5, right? We need 5 to do this mission over here, but let's definitely do it. That's gonna cost tons of money, for sure. And also tons of resources, so we're gonna need to wait a bit. While we do wait, let me show you that similarly for this one now, we're giving everything. We have the lunar launch, the anti-grav compensator, we started to make them again, I'll show you in a second. Intelliware and androids from the temperate region. Obviously, I had to increase the number I was sending because there was more people, and last but not least, the healthcare that we just looked at. So as I said, I had to increase a few of the production. For example, over here, the space galley, we had to improve. Similarly for the farm over here, but honestly, these ones don't cost much. On the other hand, we've also restarted an NTG workshop, which does cost a lot more, as you can see. And this is not even producing a lot, right? With this, we're only producing 3. This is enough for the moon, this is not enough for the temperate region. So in just a minute, I'm going to expand this further, make a lot more, which is going to cost a lot more too, but we don't really have a choice, to provide those anti-grav compensators to my investors. This requires the rare earth elements that we're already producing over here, and some fusion power cells. So we've also started to remake the fusion power cells over here. As you can see, taking some of the deuterium from the Arctic, so started to send some. Actually, am I in pause? Yeah, we're just at 3.3, so soon we'll need to put more. And also some helium, which is this one there. Also 4,000, by the way. This is costing a lot of money. But yeah, with this, we're providing everything to our officers on the moon and obviously also to our miners over here. As I said, we're gonna need to build 3 more health center for the step 2 of the stage 3 to give us 800 workforce. What's funny is that probably after getting this workforce, we can probably delete all of those houses because we'll probably have enough, free workforce. So as you can see over here, I do still need to bring more anti-grav compensators to my people over there, but we did make a few changes. First of all, I have started to develop, as I promised, a lot more the Madrigal Islands to send water and algae. So for example, over here, I have a bit of water to the basin. Then we have also a bit of algae to the basin because that was in negative. And then we have a lot of water to Wildwater Bay. It's not enough yet. It's only 200. We're gonna need a bit more, but it has definitely helped to reduce this. This used to be more than 30,000, now it's 15,000, there's only 170 left. I think it was more than 300 before. So, definitely we have reduced this a bit, but there's still a bit more work because we haven't finished developing all of this. There is also, by the way, those 2 regions too, if we want more water. The problem right now is it does cost a lot of money and a lot of graphene every time I want to claim a new island. For example, this next island over here is gonna cost more than 1 million, 1,600,000, right? And also 350 graphene. I do get graphene regularly by doing this mission over here, right? If you look over here, in standard mode, it's 25, it's not a lot, but in advanced, it's already 150. And in expert, it's 300. To be honest, I usually do it in advanced because in expert, it's way too easy to lose my ship. But yeah, we have developed, as I said, a couple of those islands. You can see the first one over here fully developed. We have a second one over here, a couple of water deposits, a third one there, right? A fourth one over here, a fifth one there. And as I said, we're gonna hopefully get this one soon. And of course, they attack me as always every few minutes. And you definitely have to take care of it because otherwise, soon my money is gonna go very down and then we're gonna be negative. So let's send the fleet and try to correct this. And here we are back in Wildwater Bay, where our investors now have replicators, quantum computers from the Arctic that we just saw. They have androids and they're getting entertainment. We have unlocked the stadium over here. This was at 100,000 investors. We have 120,000. We haven't reached yet the 150, but we'll get there. We have, as I said, so the stadium that costs a bit of electricity and a lot of maintenance, so definitely do be careful when you build it. But yeah, now we're providing all of this. We just need to move to our anti-grav compensators. So if you've been following along, you know that we're not that far from the objective I stated at the beginning of the episode. We want to give everything to all of our people living in the Arctic. We're done. We want to give everything to our people on the moon. We're done. And we just need one more resource for Wildwater Bay, or the temperate region, which is the anti-grav. But if you think we're finished after that, I have some surprises for you. We're definitely not done. But I will see you in a few minutes when we're able to jump this anti-grav compensator production. Now I know I said we'll talk about anti-grav compensators, but before I wanted to show you a cool trick and something that's going to help us for sure in the future. How to get a fusion reactor to cost only $75 of maintenance instead of 1,000 and 1,000. As you can see, this fusion reactor over here is providing more than 10,000 of energy just for 75 of maintenance. Of course, a couple of people, but not that much too. How? By using the special Li Sheng finance calculator. Instead of reducing the credit maintenance by 10%, which is the normal one that we have. If we look over here, for example, I think probably all of these have those. Yes, these are the normal one, minus 10%. With this, obviously you put 5 of them and you get to minus 50%, right? That's what you can see over here, finance calculator, minus 50%. But now I also have the special one that are bringing minus 20%. So with this, obviously 5 of these is minus 100%. So we're getting basically to 0. It is actually 99% if I'm not mistaken or something like this. So that's why it's not 0, but it's almost 0. And so with this, it is not free energy because you still need to make the fusion power cells. But I need 5 power cells to make 10,000 of energy. That's not a lot. And that's basically just for the cost of making those power cells. So this is a really interesting one, especially if you combine it with the fact that we can transfer energy now. And this is even more powerful in the crater over here because I have this section trait of plus 30% for the production of the fusion reactor. But now you're probably wondering, how do I get those amazing Li Sheng finance calculators? And this is part of the console. You have the console over here where you can vote. You can vote for each of the 5 factions, right? And in the previous one, I voted for Li Sheng and she won. And therefore we got a lot of those interesting modules that you can see over here. They are impacting, a number of those production, basically the production that are making energy. So next what I did is I sent 25 fusion power plant to get my orbital spaceport ready to transfer energy. The final step is 30 petrochemical, that's an easy one. But now remember we have the normal elevator for resources, but we are also this energy beam to be able to transport electricity. So that's what we're gonna do right away so that we can stop a lot of the energy production over here. I'll talk about this in a second. First, let's actually make this transfer route, electricity from the crater to over here. We're gonna do something like 8,000 because I think that's the overall consumption that we have over here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's just a bit more, but because as you can see right now, my power plants are producing 8,400. So we need a bit more. But the idea is now I can delete all of those gas power stations, because each of them are taking me, of course, a couple of people and logistics, but more importantly, maintenance. It is 1,250 for this one because I did put the normal finance calculator when I built them a long time ago. I have something like 6 of them, so we're talking about a bit more than 7,000 of maintenance. It may not seem huge, but the key thing is it also consumes a lot of methane, right? And that methane is actually costing a lot more. You can see 3,000 for each of these, and again, we have multiple. We're gonna see now if I delete all of them, where my balance is gonna be. By the way, we're in negative now. You may be wondering why. It's actually because I built over here the 5 health centers that are required for this mission, and each of those health centers is something like 8,000. So it's costing a lot, but hopefully after this, we can delete them and we'll have tons of workforce for free. So we're at minus 6,800. We do have a small problem that I lost all of the heat that was provided before over here, but we have a couple of other buildings we can move over here. So for example, this one, move it there. Then we have this one over here. We need a road. It's not perfect, but slowly but surely we should get there. And actually the reality is I also probably don't need all of these people because you can see now we're back into positive for the workforce. So we may be able to delete them. On top of this, as I said, we have a lot more methane than what we need. So I can also delete this one, for example. This is not methane, this is coal. So it is, I've deleted all of the power plants, a lot of the methane ice. So we're only producing 20 now. And therefore we have actually a lot of workforce and a lot of electricity that is still positive. So we can also import less, I guess. And from minus 7,000, we've jumped to almost plus 20,000. So it's basically more than 25,000 of profit right away, just by transferring energy. This is pretty cool. I love it. While we're at it, let's also try to finish the sector project. We needed 50 fusion power cells. I've been sending some to be able to upgrade the spaceport. It's great we have them. Now we just need to deliver it to the plane there. Okay, good. Are they ready? I want to press the button. But now there is one more stage. Okay. So we need to pull them out and send them to the spaceport. Don't ask me why. Good. And the last one. Okay. Okay, and with this, let's do my favorite thing, pressing the detonator. And done. The third and final channel or trading post, if you wish. And with this, we get 350 of logistic for free. And this is on top of the 50 coming from the warehouse. So basically for each of my island in this region, we have 400 for free of logistic. So I can probably delete also all of those transportation centers, you know, they are not needed. It's a bit of money and electricity saved too. On this one I also don't have any, and on that one I had a few, and we can probably delete a few as I just said. So one over here, maybe another there too. This one we should probably leave because it's very far. Oh, and by the way, I remember that indeed we have a couple of houses that don't have electricity. Let's just delete them because I have a lot of workforce. And in the future, we can also probably delete quite a few houses, as you can see. And now for step 5 out of 5, we need to give them 90 stimulants. I don't have any stimulants here, but that's not too hard. We're producing them in the Arctic. I just need to send them. So let's do this. Transfer route. And done. You can see it's increasing quickly. When it reaches 90 also, I should remember to stop that route because this is a useless route in the future. But yeah, let's get the 90 first and foremost, and then we can do that. And done. Stage 3 completed. Nice. We have all 3 of those bases over here. And with this, we have a total of 1,400 of workforce basically for free. We are using right now a bit more than this. We're using double that, but we could probably reduce this whole thing by quite a lot. Now let's delete these things. We don't need them. And with that, our profit has jumped. Plus 40,000. I love it. And here it is, ladies and gents, the anti-grav compensators production has increased by quite a lot. Of course, we had to also increase over here the fusion cell production, right? We sent all of this to Wildwater Bay, and now here we are. Our investors have everything: replicators, quantum computers, anti-grav compensators, Android, and entertainment. They are full. More than 600 people in this apartment tower. 40 only are work. It's like, what are they all doing? Are they all just playing games on YouTube or something? And then they do bring quite a bit of money, so that's good. I actually had to increase a few more. So these ones, you know, we moved to also level 4. And with this, we reach 150,000 investors. We have actually crossed the 300,000 mark in terms of total people. But yeah, 150,000 employees. And so with this, we can build the corporation HQ. This is a building that cost a lot, 1 million. Also 250 of super alloy, 250 biopolymer, 250 construction boards. But it will actually satisfy all of the public needs. So you sort of put it in the middle like this, and it's great, right? Because it's going to support all of your different people, all of your different needs. I had built a magnificent park around it, but remember that there's also some modules. So let's definitely build some modules. With this, we could increase, you know, the supply. So I need to delete a couple of these. And here it is, ladies and gents, we have built the HQ with a couple of modules. There is actually 5 different types of modules, and in total you can place up to 30. As you can see, this is costing quite a lot of electricity, people, and maintenance, but we're quite okay right now. So I'm loving it. It is really pretty. I added also a couple of ornaments around it, as you can see, like the underground metro is just next to it, of course. And this is actually the end of the campaign. We have completed the campaign. Hooray! But not the end of the series, not the end of the game. There is still a couple of things we haven't looked at. First of all, we haven't unlocked yet the orbital station. So we definitely should look at this. Secondly, we didn't go to the tundra. We still have all of the vehicles in the tundra to unlock, including 2 tiers of population. So we definitely want to do this. While we are the biggest corporation, there's still much that we can do. I also want to get to the maximum military level and upgrade my ships to the maximum level. And there is several sectors that we haven't unlocked yet. We also haven't joined the stock market, so we definitely should do that. Last but not least, there's a few of the projects that we haven't finished. We did, of course, the dam. That was the first one. We also concluded a few other, for example, the one on the Novikov crater, right? We completely finished it. And while we're playing on the veteran difficulty, the highest difficulty out there, you know, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you want to add a new goal. Maybe we should get to 1 million. I don't know. But for sure, in the next episode, there's definitely still a lot to be done. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to smash the like button. And as I said, please don't hesitate to also share in the comments what else you want to see in this series.